to build some skates. We're going to build some. We're going to do it now. We're going to do it live. And I've never ever done this live. Ever done it live. I have a GoPro here record me. I have a GoPro up there record me. So they're recording what I'm doing with my hands. And you can see pretty much everything that I've got in front of me for building these skates. Apart from maybe my drill, which is over there. I'll get there we go. Back! Right, for those of you just joining us, the camera fell over as I went for the drill. Don't know what that's depicting today, but that's what happened. So, making a pair of skates out of a pair of Vans. So, here we go. I'm not a storyteller. I'm not a experienced go live person. I'm just recording this for my channel on the Tube Place, and I promised that when I could go live on TikTok that I would go live with the process of building a pair of skates, because it's dead easy. I say it's dead easy. You need a load of wee bits and pieces, right? And I've got it all laid out here in front of me. And this particular skate's getting a disco block added so that the person can use this setup at a skate park. So, like I say, I've got GoPro up there filming me. I've got on hyperlapse there as well. I've got everything I need. This in this setup, it's a pair of Vans, which are very, very nice. Very nice green pair of Vans. And we've got some standard plate. This is a standard basic skate plate, which is a thrust plate. You know, this is standard setup. There's no big expense on this one at the moment. Probably the boot was around 60 quid. The disco block is about 60 quid. The plates are about 60 quid. You know, this is the big thing that we've done for our company. And this has took us about a year to get these manufactured and get them right and get the sizes and be able to use these to fit to build a pair of skates. What are these, you might be asking yourself? What the hell is that the boys got? Right, okay, so if you've got a standard shoe, right, you can't just go putting that, well you could, but it's not going to last long, right? Can't you just go putting that on the boot, putting the screws through? One, that the wee screws will just rip off when you're leaning side to side. You just rip that right off of the plate. So if you imagine that on this skate plate, this is the bit that gets the wheels put on it eventually. I've not got wheels here, but I have. I've got, so this eventually will have wheels on it, right? Okay. Sits on top of there. This though goes between the sole inside. Okay, so we'll pop that in, and that's metal, right? Goes inside the boot. Okay, so that sits inside there. We then have something to put that, mount that plate to, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we now have something to mount that to. Alright, we'll use these screws, we'll go down the way, coming out the plate, we'll screw it all together. Alright, but we need, this plate has to go inside, or else it's just going to rip off of this through time, because that's just rubber. But then if you put that inside, it's covering the whole of that sole. Alright, the whole of the sole's getting covered with that boot there, right? And that will take the pressure from the two fixing points and hopefully last a fair bit of time. I've got a friend that's got this set up. He's been using it for months and months and months, and there's been no drama. There's been no drama whatsoever. So, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's size it up. Let's drill it. Let's build it. And if you're watching or bored already, grab a cup of tea. Seriously, because this could take a while. So the components are one pair of Vans. That can be Vans, it could be any flat, when I say flat, no heel, any flat trainer boot you like, we can build into a pair of skates. Really, really simple. Really simple. We've got through there, we have a Fila, we have a Gazelle, Adidas Gazelle, we have a Fila boot, we have a pair of Converse, and we have a pair of Vans today. I'm not going to build them all live on this because that would just take too long and it'll be mega boring for everybody. So I'm going to build one boot on this, going to do that live, and then I'll just go off and I'll build the other boot at my leisure. And I'll probably build the other boot and film that for our channel with one of the GoPros. But they're running the now, capturing other stuff while I do this. Right, get on with it, you say. Right, here we go. So, we have our boot. We have our nice wee van boot. Very, very lovely. We have our plate, okay. Some of these plates come where they are left and right. This is a bog standard that would come on any Moxie or whatever. This is a standard Pwerdyne Thrust Plate. It's a nylon plate, so you know it's got a bit of give about it. You've got a boot that's got a bit of give about it, so it's a good combination in my opinion. Other opinions are out there, okay? So what I would do is we'll put that on there, we'll size it up, and a thing to remember here is, right, when you put a plate on, right, this is very rough, right? But it's quite sticky on the rubber, which is good, so it'll no flail about all over the place. So I'll hold it there. Now, you might think to yourself, that's squint, right, if you can see that. But it doesn't follow the curve of the boot. It follows a straight line up the boot, right? So it's a straight line up the boot, if you can see that, so that when you're skating, and I don't know if you can see that there, right? So that when you're skating, your foot is straight, okay? The boot curves, right, because your foot curves, but the plate needs to be straight, okay? That needs to be straight up and down the boot. If we were to angle it the way the boot's going, that would just be mental, and you'd feel like your feet would be coming in all the time or going out all the time or whatever, however it was set up. So that's why that will look kind of squint. Has to. Doesn't work any other way. Right, so there's loads of tape and loads of different things that you could use to mark it up, okay? So, listen, I'm doing it this way because I've no real option. I've no workshop or anything now, so everything's getting done at home. So you just grab one of these, a tape, masking tape, anything you like, if I can bloody find the end. Oh, where is it? Right, and I'm just using this tape, microfour tape, because it's all I could find today. I can't find the masking tape. And I'm just literally masking up the boot. This is just to give me a marker, alright? So if you can see that, I'm literally just giving myself a marker or something to mark, rather than marking the boot, getting it wrong, drawing over it, stuff like that. This is literally, you would use masking tape instead of this stuff, right? Plus it'll help protect any of the boot round about it when we start drilling, right? So just make all that smooth, and that's just tape that'll pull back off. Dead simple, right? So we'll put the plate back on there, right? It's not so sticky now, it's flowing all over the place with the tape. That I'm getting straight up and down the boot, and I would hold it there. Mr. Bic Pen raped of its outer shell, so we've took the outer shell of the Bic Pen off it, right? And what we would do is there's holes on these for where the bolts go. Just stick it in, wiggle it around. Alright, said in my best Nigella, stick it in and wiggle it around. Okay, that one moved, so I need to move it back across. And that's probably because it's going inside one of the rubber segments or honeycombs that's on the bottom of the vans. But that's looking good right there. That's looking good right there, so just mark that, because that's going to be my drill point for the bolts, the fixing bolts. So I'll mark that there. A wee wiggle around, stick it in and wiggle it around, baby, as Nigella would be saying. Give it a good wiggle, and that's marked the tape, okay? So I can take that away, and you can see there, hopefully, is my 2 drill points. Alright, now this is very rough. This is very, very rough how I'm doing this today. If I was in the workshop or something like that, everything would be done a lot better, because all the tools are in the workshop to have this planted on. It sits on a nice like shoehorn thing that I got from Idea. Thank you very much, Idea. and it sits on that very nice, and it gives me a good drill point, and it keeps the boot still, so it's not going to go anywhere. But unfortunately, at home, I didn't have that luxury, so I'm just going to drill it. I've done so many of these now that at the end of the day, I'm confident that that is where I want it to be. There'll be people that'll be like, oh, James, you should have did this, you should have did that, you should have done it this way, you should have done it. Okay, that's how you do it. This is how I'm doing it. I'm perfectly happy with the way I do it. It's not technical, it's dead simple, it's old school, it's done by eye. You can measure, oh, there's 6mm that way, oh, there's 5 and a bit millimetre that. Chill. Get it right. Get it where you want it to be. There'll be no dramas. There will be no dramas. Anyone that tells you there's an exact science to this, doing it in your house or doing it yourself, aye, fair enough, right? So you're going to be like, oh, what are you doing? You're drilling it. Here we go. We're just going to drill this here van. We're going to give it a go. And that's going to go, oh, it's wanting to go off to the side. Let's get that. Have to get this one right. Oh, it's gone off to the bit of the rubber. There we go. There we go, through already. Nice and easy. Wiggle that around. Gives you a nice cut through. That's good. And then on to the next one and just drill it. That's that drill. Stick the tape back down. Make sure it's no moved. Stick that back down. Yep, we're good. So that's the heels drilled. Dead simple. Follow your guide and then just get it drilled. Do not waste about. Do not hang about. Just drill it. Have confidence in what you've done. Give it a go, give it a wiggle, and just drill it, baby. Just drill it. Nice and easy because they're rubber. Nice and easy. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, we've drilled that. Can actually take this off now because we didn't need it. Right, so that's it off. That's the holes on the boot drilled. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Nah, crap. But they're drilled anyway, alright? So what we would do is we would then have that plate put inside. Put the plate inside. Okay, so that's inside, and by the way, I've put tape on that as well, right? So that when I stick the pen through the boot, I know where I'm drilling on the plate, because these are not built to exacts every time, so those holes are going to be off every time. So every pair of boots that you build, you're going to be measuring, you're going to be drilling, and you're just going to be fitting them like that as best you can, and then just holding them inside. I'll probably put a bit of tape inside just to hold it so that it's no moving about and we can get a good measurement and get a good drill point. That's not going to go anywhere there. We don't want the plate to be moving about inside when we're trying to, you know, size it up for the holes. So we want that to stay kind of where it is for when we're drilling, for when we're marking it for the drill points. So if you can just stick it in there somehow, anyhow. It doesn't have to be total hardcore, like just so that it doesn't move. You're going to be holding it with your hands anyway, right? And then get your pen again, Mr. Bic pen that has been the plastic removed, alright? Hello folks. And then just stick it through. And that's marking the plate, is it? Oh, it's a bit tight. Let's see where's the drill. There we go. Tight. So if we can't get that right, we'll use a bigger drill bit, right? Because we want that to be marked properly. Alright, hold that plate inside, use a bigger drill bit, just make that hole a bit bigger. Make them all a bit bigger. Yeah, making sure that's the right bit. Yeah. The lassie that's a pair of Vans this will be watching it like, oh my god, what's he doing? What's he doing about it? Drilling it, baby. Bit messy that. Right, let's make sure everything's still fixed, which it is. And probably drilling that, I've taken some of the paper off, but let's see how we go. Let's get that pen through. Yeah, it's not want to go through that rubber so well. But that's marking it, see? Yeah. Let's see. They are definitely needing drilled a wee bit more. Okay, right, this is live by the way, so there's no pre-recording with this, but if you're still watching or bored watching, I would be, take it out. Bada bing! We have our 4 holes, so we know where we're drilling, okay? So these are just alloy, soft alloy. Take this paper off, or we can leave it on, doesn't really matter. And we'll just drill those holes, remember to put the wee one back on. And we'll just, I haven't got a visor in it, I'm just doing this at home. There we go, we're just about through, there we go. Easy peasy. Done. I think I need to get some sharper bits or some new bits. These have probably had their best, I think. That'll do for today. Definitely going to replace them. Definitely getting replaced because that took way too much effort, way too long. So there we have, that's that drilled, and we'll get the file on them. We'll just rub off some of the sharp edges. I think what I've done with the file actually, I forgot to bring that bit through, but we'll rub that off and get the sharp edges off. This is really just to show you me building a pair of skates. So we'll take all this paper off now. Didn't need it on there. We've done everything we need to do with that. And by the way, this is a lot easier with masking tape. I'm using micropore tape, which is dead sticky. Masking tape's no as sticky as this. Alright, so this stuff is mega sticky. But it comes off just the same, like. It's just a lot stickier than masking tape. Masking tape's a lot easier to get on and off. I'll be boring you out of tears now, eh? This will be really when folk come on and be like, what's this guy all about? What's this guy doing? Because I'm not even looking if there's any comments because I'm too busy doing this. So I can't see if there's any comments. Folk could be saying anything. Probably are on tic-tac. Right, so that's our holes drilled on our plate insert so that we can fix the roller skate plate to the bottom of this here van. But there's a couple of things we're going to do first. So our holes, we've got that was the, yeah, right, okay, that was a bit of the tape, right. So I've left a wee bit of tape on there. That is to indicate that that was sitting in there in that position, right? Because what I want to do now is I want to get my wee countersink drill, which is here, okay, and we have this pin. You see that? How there's a little shape of that, so I need to countersink that on that, or else it's going to sit up by that much, and that's going to hurt your foot. So we use a little countersink just so that we can get it to sit. No, it's not going to sit totally flush, but it'll sit a lot better than that, right? You're never going to get that perfect. Somebody might say they will, but if you've got it too wide, then there's a risk that it'll pull through the plate, and we're not wanting that. So back to the drill again. We countersink in. Obviously there's better drills than this, by the way. I'm not here to promote nothing. So looking at my bit sitting in that way, because that's my bit taped, that's how I had it, that's what was holding it on. So I'm countersinking on this side for that's coming up nicely. You see that there? That's the countersink done. See how there? That's going to give it something to sit inside. Don't know what it's going to be like actually. Let's have a look. Oh, it's sitting so much neater now, but we're going to do it a wee bit more, get a wee bit extra. It's sitting so much better. A bit more. That'll be good now, I think. Perfect, right? So that's sitting a lot more into the plate now, right? And that's acceptable because your insole will suck up any little bump there, okay? So your insole will take over there, and that's the same when we build them into leather bases. They pull in, they sink, and then there's always that little bit which the insole sucks up. I'll just get another wee kick. And the same with the front. This is so much easier when you've got a vice and stuff, or you've got a workshop to work in, rather than sitting in the wee back room at the house with the skate room. Yeah, but hey, needs must. And if I'm doing it here, I'm doing it here at home. How easy is it, eh? I know folk that this panics them doing this, and sometimes it panics me, especially when you're doing a pair of skates that are worth about £1,000. That's when you get squeaky bum time, when it's like that kind of money. Looking good, by the way. This is looking great. Good, right, I've got a wee bits of alloy everywhere now. So that's that countersunk as much as I need it to be. Okay, don't know if you can see that there. That's the holes in the plate. That sits on the outside of the boot. That sits on the inside of the boot. And looking at that, we're probably not a million miles away from the holes. Like I say, it's not an exact science. There's a bit of wiggle room every time. The fronts are perfect. The backs just need slid across a wee bit. Yeah, perfect. Perfect, happy with that. So let's get this in there. Let's get these pushed through. That's the plate inside. I'm going to push these through. See, that's now popping through the sole there. That's popping through there. Front ones are always a dick. They're always hard to get in because there's no much room at this front bit, and this is such a small trainer, and these hands are a wee bit big for this wee tiny trainer, but it's totally doable, and we'll get it in a minute. Just this is the annoying bit. It takes ages. Well, it doesn't take ages, it's just a pain in there. That's that one through. So I make sure they're countersunk alright, because it'll pull through when I'm tightening it. Just want to make sure there's enough on that, because they might need a wee bit more drilling. Time that pulls through, because I didn't want this to be uncomfortable for the end user, so because these aren't mine, these are for someone who's doing very well for us, who's really helping the company out. I should really give you a shout out, Cordy. Thank you very much. These are yours. So I'm making sure I get yours right. I just want to make sure that that's countersunk enough at the front that you're not going to get any pain. Nah. Right, so there you go. I mean, there I've put that together. I thought it was alright. There's too much on the front, so I'm going to have to take them out. I'm going to have to drill the countersink again, and just try and get that a bit more flush. So it means going through this bit again, but that's how it goes. Come out. Let's get the back suit first. Shoots a little bit. The rubber is keeping them in quite tight, which is good, but I need to get them back off to get that countersunk a wee bit more. Come out, thank you. What? Oh, that'll be that GoPro done. Night. Come on, you bastard. Oh man, try to get your fingers in the front bits is a nightmare. There we go. The play toot. Play toot. Put that one down, put that down. Right. GoPro, you're getting a new battery. You guys will just have to put up with this, because I have to film this whole section, and we'll just replace the GoPro battery quick sharp. Easy peasy. If anybody knows anybody for GoPro, by the way, the Hero 9, Jesus Christ, that thing heats up a lot. Don't know if anybody's got any connections with any GoPro people or anything, but wow, you should feel that. And all it's doing is recording me in here, and it's not like I live in the Bahamas where it's roasting. That thing is hot. Damn hot. Alright, let's get you back on. Come on. Sorry about this, folks, but I need to record this. I want to capture, and we'll probably not use everything that I captured, but I want to capture the whole process, whether it works, whether it goes wrong. I want to be able to document it for myself so that I can then say, right, that's where you went wrong, that's what happened there, try that differently, yeah, try that differently, do this a different way, get a different tool, or do it in the bloody workshop Power. There you go. Right, give that a minute to boot up and I'll get this countersunk while we're waiting. I'm wondering whether I need to use a bigger countersink for this one. Don't think so. But they were definitely sitting a wee bit more proud at the front. I suppose the bigger countersink is going to give it wider. I'm going to use that. Like, I'm going to try it. Go try it. Let's try it. Let's just see it. The guys out there that are engineers and everything watching me going, oh mate, didn't do this, didn't do that. Yeah man, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Ah, bigger countersink, sorted mate. Well done. Might as well just do the backs while we're at it. Lovely. Right, so the bigger countersink worked better. Chuck that away, get this back on. Move that out the rod. You're still watching, you need to record. Aye, but they GoPros, by the way. Jesus Christ, that thing's hot. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Well happy with that. That's sitting almost flush. Right, happy days. And you know what? Almost isn't good enough. Let's give it another. I prefer it to be perfect rather than just almost. Oh jeez, oh, that's excellent. Love it. If somebody's watching or anything like that, I'm loving it. As the man says regularly. These are just going to sit so much better. So much better. There's going to be a bit of wiggling to get that onto the plate, but hey, them's the bricks. Them's the bricks. Okay, one more to go. Sorry about this folks, sorry it's taking so long. It's actually quite quick when you think about it, building a pair of skates. I don't know how many folks been on here watching, by the way. Hope you're alright. Right, okay, so that's done, ready to put a plate on it. We've got the plate inside, the alloy plate is inside, and those bolts are countersunk inside, so when you put your foot in, there'll be no soreness or anything like that, right? Perfect. So, I want to go on to just very quickly talk about the plate. Very, very quickly, just to let people understand how a plate works, right? So, this is your skate plate, this is your kingpin. In here's a bit called a pivot cup, which this one was missing, so I had to get some pivot cups to replace. This is a little pivot cup for goes in there, right? And what you'll see in a minute. Take that, Discoblox. Right, good connection. We went live yet. So I don't know what happened there. We got kicked off. So I'll wait, let some people come back on, because there was a few folk watching. Don't know if everyone was watching. Oh, what happened there? Okay, so we're back to building our set of skates. Anyway, it's for me GoPros that are watching. They're still watching. So we're building that back on. Back on. Dead easy. Put a wee lock in that on. We're back live yet? Oh, what happened there? Hello, are we back? Is there anybody there? Hello, don't know what happened there. Went live again. If you were watching earlier, apologise that it cut off, but I didn't care what happened. Maybe it was just like, enough of this skate building, carry on, James. We want to chat and we want to watch naked people, not you building skates, that's boring. Such is the amount of naked people on this platform. Unbelievable, man. It's good fun. For some, I guess. So, that is the plate put on said boot. Okay, and I'm going to do this old school. I could get a drill bit for this, but do you know what? I like to do it with a wee spanner and just take my time, because I like the manual element. I really do. I really like the fact that I've on some builds skint my knuckles, on others pulled a nut all the way through using a drill, so it's not always perfect. So that's that one I've tightened up a bit. I'm going to go opposite corner on the front and tighten that up. Like I say, old school, not using a drill for this bit. Pulling that all the way through, which is good. It's tightening up nicely. Yeah. So this is proper old school. It'd be so much quicker just get a tool, a bit, and go bzz, bzz, bzz. So easy. Too easy. There's no real manual element to that, is there? I like it this way. And I build every pair of skates, whether they are 120 quid, 200 quid, 500 quid, 1,000 quid, you all get this manual element to them. Because that's what I like. That's how it should be. Someone's actually put a bit of passion and a bit of love into it. Am I still live? Nobody watching? Am I no live? Is that what's going on here? Maybe my live lasted too long and weren't happy with that. So let's see, that's alright. End of there, nah, are we live? Are we working? Somebody joined but went away. Maybe I'm no top live anymore. Maybe I'm just one of them that's went live. Folk are bored watching, but do you know what? I'm recording this for my own channel anyway, so that's fine. I'll just pay attention to the GoPros instead of boring people to tears on TikTok. Let's get this front one done. That's pretty loosey-goosey now. Hello, you're back. How you doing? I seem to I lost everybody. It went off and I just figured I'd come back on and crack on again. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the internet signal here, because I've switched that off and went on to my phone's 5G, which is probably better. But the plate's on. Don't know if you've seen all that. Plate's on. I'm just tightening up the bolts now, just to get on to the next process. And because I was talking to myself for ages, I started talking to the GoPros, because I didn't think any of you were there. But this is tightening up well, and it's pulling the heads of the bolts are pulling in nicely to the plate, and the countersinks work absolutely perfectly with that. They are really, really good. Time we put that insole back in, you're not going to feel anything, which is really what we need. Really, really good. But you can always use another insole if you do feel any little nips or anything like, oh, that's a wee bit uncomfortable. Just stick another insole in. You know, just stick that in, suck it up, and that'll remove it. But most insoles will cover the little bit of recess that it's sitting out. So that's tight. That's tight. They're happy. Happy, happy, happy. I'll maybe tighten this one a wee bit. Nah, get up here so everyone can see it, sorry. Aye. Helps if you go the right way, James. So, old school manual with a spanner. Put back on. That is how we make a roller skate. That is a van. Dropped another reel nut. That's this van converted to a roller skate. And I'm going to do this. This is our next thing to come out of the skate shop, shop.unitedskates.com. Once my good friend Cordy, that these are built for, puts all the footage together that I'm going to do today, once she's got all of that done, we will have this service up and running on the website as soon as we can. This is new. It's a new thing for us to do. I've been asked so much to do this, so it is what it is. So that's that built, ready to go as a skate. We could just these are old wheels, so don't worry about that. These wheels sit on either side. I'll probably put these on just at the end just to let you see. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit the disco block now, and that's the slide block that we were talking about earlier. So I'm going to chuck that on now. And I don't know who's watching. That might just be you. Who's that? Is that Cordy? Are you watching your own skate ball? Is it? Right, tight. Oh, left Lucy. Aye, whatever. So we're taking the trucks and everything off again, okay? So we'll just take the trucks off. Come out. Get some tight. And that's a good pivot cup because that's tight. That's no falling out anywhere. So off you pop with your trucks and your cushions. Get all of that off. Out comes that pivot cup again. Put the pivot cup back in. And what we're going to do now is the disco block. Okay, so the disco block, they're all on the side. These are predominantly for ramp park skating, alright? Because you're going to be sliding along copings and things like that. It does also look cool, but bear in mind if you're watching this and you're not a ramp park skater, you don't need these. You don't need to buy one of them just to have a pair of skates. We're just doing this as part of the project. And that would sit on there like so. Okay, and then we'll drop. We could use, because what I will show you here is, right, so these are what comes with it, okay, the cushions that come with it. The disco block comes with another cushion which is narrower, right? Now that being that wee bit narrower, I don't know if that shows up so well, it's that wee bit narrower, right? The reason for that is you have that bit of metal on there, right? So you have to compensate for that. So the cushion needs to be that little bit narrower, or when you get to the end and try and put a nut on, it's not going to fit, right? And it's not going to fit because you've added in that thickness of metal to that setup, which is pretty spot on, you know what I mean? I suppose I could do it just to show you what I mean, right? So we'll put this back together with that, the original stuff, right? So you've got that washer, that will go on, then the cushion, then the truck, let's get that on right, then your cushion again. See, we're losing grip here. Might be able to do it with this one. You'd maybe just get that on. Yeah, I think you would actually, so let's just go with that, right? That's on this occasion, that's went on. I have fitted these on many a skate where there is no danger you would get a turn on that with the standard cushions. Just absolutely no danger. They wouldn't even get them on, and I've had that fight with so many. So I usually use the disco trucks that come, the disco cushions that come with it. In this occasion, through showing you, through just putting it together, we didn't need it, so we can go with the nice lovely orange ones that come with the thrust plate. So let's just do that. Let's just go with that, seeing as they fit and they work alright. Happy with that. Totally happy with that. If it's no broken, dinna fix it. Is that what my granddad used to always say? So get your truck back on. Make sure it's sitting over the cushion. Next cushion back on. Ah, now, there you go. Look at that. Look how tight that is on that one. So it's sat alright on the front one, right? But there's no way I can put that nut on the back. I can't even, probably could, but I could force it on. It's a wee bit of pressure and it's going on. Sometimes this just does not happen like this, right? It must be taking the mickey out of me because I'm doing it live. So that's our slide block fitted to this lovely van, right? Our thrust plate fitted to the van. what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a wee tighten up of that just to see where it's at, because this is going to bore you to tears. That's that tight. Tighten up the kingpin nuts on both sides, looking good. And just for the hell of it, this is an old pair of wheels of mine. You can't get these wheels anymore, so they're no for sale. If there's any pros watching, nah, you're not getting them. Cordy, sorry, or you're not getting them either. So you just put your wheel nuts on, put your wheels on, put your wheel nuts on. And this is literally just to show you. I should have picked a better set of wheels than that. It's just what I had lying around, and that has taken probably what, an hour or something. That's only one boot, and that's me. I'm taking my time so that I can show you guys, as well as messing around with cameras. But you know, I'll build the other skate in about 20 minutes once I get going, and there's nobody watching, and I didn't hate to talk to people. So that'll get built in no time. So tighten it up all the way, right? Whenever you're doing a skate wheel, tighten it up, tighten it up, tighten it up until it's tight. It's tight, it doesn't turn so well. So then take a quarter turn back, make sure it's spinning. Alright, so that again, tighten a wheel all the way up, totally tighten it, tight. Right, doesn't spin so well, little quarter turn back, and it will spin. Alright, so tighten it up, quarter turn back, and then it will spin, and that's that. So that is a van converted to a roller skate with a nice Discoblox slide block, and that is that. There'll be some nice laces put in that. I'm not going to bore you with that, but I have just made a roller skate out of a pair of Vans. Lovely jubbly, easy peasy. I hope that come across alright. I hope you liked that. I hope you enjoyed watching that. I hope it's worked. I know there'll be some people in the world going, what? Are you mental? But that's how you do it. That's that. I just need to get a stopper on there, get some wheels on there, and that is you sorted, Cordy. And Vans, just made one of your boots into a roller skate. And we put a disco block on it. And some Adonis wheels, but they're my Adonis wheels because you can't get them anymore. And yes, that is it. Some laces and lovely jubbly. So I'm looking for someone, if there's any business owners out there watching. I'm going to get that other cushion before I forget. I'm looking for Vans. I'm looking for Converse, Adidas, anyone like that wants to get behind this project. Hello, invitation. Who's this? Oh no, sorry, I'm not going to add anyone on to what I'm doing today. Plus a dick in, so that's a bit weird. So as I was saying, looking for Vans, Converse, anyone to get behind this project, and we'll start making your sneakers, your gutties, your trainers, whatever you call them. For me, they're gutties. Someone will call them, I don't know, what do you call them? Go and post up what you call these. They're Vans, they're gutties, they're trainers. Depends where you're from to what you call them. In America, it'll be sneakers, I guess. Right, the skate shop, shop.unitedskates.com. So I'll be looking at selling all of these parts and building these for people to request. So basically how it works is, with your question there, is people will send me their boot and say, James, make a pair of skates out of that. Or people will come to me and say, right, I've got my own boot. I want these plates off you. I want that plate. This plate is the fixing plate. I want the roller plate. I want a disco block. I want wheels. I want a stopper. So that's the idea. This is so new to us, and we're at the beginning of this project, that, you know, people will come to us to build their own skates, and it hashtag skate your skates your way. We've used that loads and loads and loads in the past, and it's all over the United Skates stuff. So what I'm saying is, I'm not looking for charitable donations for me to build and sell or anything like that, because I have to live and I have to earn something. So this will be on our site where we'll convert people's choice of trainer, people's choice of sneaker, people's choice of gutties into roller skates, using the right equipment, you know, a good solid plate for inside, and you'll be able to buy all the parts. So I hope that answers that wee question there. But thanks for the offer. I like that. Thank you very much. I get it. I get it. So that is how you build a pair of roller skates. How easy is it?